Hi, I'm Jamie Hernandez, and this is The Ins and Outs with Mackie, a show about awesome gear and awesome people. We'll be bringing musicians, engineers, podcasters, streamers, and sometimes the occasional Mackoid. If you're new to the show, make sure to hit that subscribe button on your favorite platform to get all the latest Mackie updates as soon as they're out. And be sure to check in the description on how you can win an EM91CU Plus microphone. So you may know our guest today as the Warped Tour pop punk icon, Agent M from Tsunami Bomb. Over the years, her music gradually shifted towards synth-pop in her duo project, Action Design, then further into her current solo electronic indie pop project, Survival Guide. After a major geographical shift, an acoustic album, some solo touring, experimentation with Patreon projects and Twitch live streams, she's currently working on her second album, starting with her recently released single, Stay Dead. Here to share her musical journey is Emily Whitehurst. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you.
So nice having you here. Where you set up right now?
It's great to be here, and I am set up in my music streaming studio in San Antonio.
Oh, nice. Texas.
Yeah.
You love Texas. I'm sure we'll get into that a little bit later. But yeah, let's get started. I'm curious, what was your first experience performing music?
Oh, taking it way back. My first experience performing music ever. Ever.
Even as a kid, like you got on stage for a contest and
won. I remember, I know, I can't say for sure if it was my first music experience ever, but somewhere my mom does have a VHS tape of me singing at a Christmas recital in kindergarten. So it goes pretty far back. And then, my first band, rock experience on a stage was in high school. I sang during my brother's band. My two brothers were in a band together, and I sang an Offspring cover at the Mother's Day fair in my hometown.
How fitting.
Yes.
That's so awesome. So were you playing the piano already, or when did that come into play?
I played piano. I did take piano lessons in second grade. Temporarily. I really didn't enjoy it very much. I thought it was really boring. So I do have a small amount of music reading knowledge. I can take a children's piano book and sit down and take a lot of time to figure it out, but that's about it. Everything I do now is just me messing around and trying to improve my dexterity.
Well, you look like a total pro, so don't downplay that.
Thank you.
I know that you're highly influenced by Green Day, but you have a really unique and original voice that seems to have followed you throughout your career. What are some of your influences?
Thank you. First off, you're totally right. Billie Joe from Green Day was my first vocal influence. And I really loved the way he sang. I loved his melodies. I loved the way his melodies just were unique and interesting, at least to me. And I love the power behind the vocals. And I feel like I've kind of taken those concepts with me through the various bands and styles of singing that I've been doing. Sometimes I do try to incorporate some softer stuff, but it's really hard for me. It's easier to maybe it's more fun because it's easier, but I love just belting. It's just so much fun. And vocally, I don't really have a lot of influences. As far as style goes, I just kind of just hung on to that Billie Joe thing the whole time.
I've always thought that you had, I don't know if you've been compared to her, but I always hear kind of almost like a Bjork influence there, because it's controlled.
I love that.
You're yelling, but it's controlled.
I would love to be more like Bjork. I feel like she has such a range of ways that she uses her voice. So that is an extreme compliment. Thank you.
Well, you're welcome. So you're a California native who now resides in Texas.
Yes.
How has this transition been to this new music scene for you?
Well, it's been interesting. I've been here in Texas for about 4 years now. And I've been kind of not sure what I'm doing. The move sort of threw me into I was already in a transitional period as far as songwriting and working on what's next. And so removing myself from everything I knew in California kind of left me like even more unsure of what I was doing. So I've just been, and of course, then the last 2 years, it's like there's not really much scene, when there aren't shows happening. Now there are shows starting to happen. One thing I do, I guess I can't speak about the last couple of years, but before COVID hit, I felt like the San Antonio music scene is more, and just San Antonio in general, is more mellow and easy to work with, kind of. I don't know if that makes sense, but
Totally. Like more involved too at the shows.
yeah, just like, I mean, I guess kind of more just like, if I want to play a show, I can book a show. And in San Francisco area, it was not like that. And it's just really nice to be like, okay, if I want to play a show, I can play a show. And I mean, that goes along with me being solo as well.
For sure.
Which when I started Survival Guide, it wasn't solo. And I've been in, as you mentioned, I've been in other bands where, a number of other bands, and it's all depending on everyone else's schedule. So yeah, I'm not sure if
The
that,
freedom.
yeah.
Yeah. You got freedom to say yes to everything. Like you said, it's hard to align all those schedules and that one person that doesn't want to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm so glad that you're able to do that and you have that freedom to finally, just do what you want to do, not wait for other people.
Yeah.
So Agent M in Tsunami Bomb was a Warped Tour staple. I mean, I remember my first Warped Tour days going and looking for you. Like,
Yeah.
where is this
Aw.
freaking amazing person, this woman that's like, there rocking her heart out. This was during the early years when there were few women seen performing those stages. Was there ever a moment you realized that you were becoming this icon who was actually paving the road for other females and to follow?
No, I don't feel like there was a specific moment at all. There was no sort of like, I'm an icon now type thing. But I did feel really proud of myself, especially when we got, the times that we did get to play on main stage. It was kind of like, okay, here's, Rise Against and My Chemical Romance, or, all the other bands. And maybe there's one other band that has a female in it on main stage. So I definitely did feel like I was doing something awesome for myself and for the girls that are in the audience,
Yeah. Did you ever expect your music to have reached and influenced so many people for as long as it has?
Never. never in a minute did I think that. I just kind of take things as they come, and it's pretty amazing that people still look back to that time and that it's meaningful to people and not just me.
And I love seeing the comments on your Survival Guide stuff, where people, of course, they know you from Tsunami Bomb, but they have followed you throughout your career because you've been consistent, and you've grown and they've seen that, and it's really cool to see how they've grown with you, and they still have your back, So
I agree. That's the
exciting.
best thing.
So over the years, your music has shifted from pop punk to synth pop in the action design, then further into this electronic indie pop realm that you now call Survival Guide, your solo project. What have you learned throughout all of these transitions? Has there been more advantages being in a solo project versus being in a band?
Yeah, I mean, we kind of touched on it earlier.
Yeah.
I think the main thing is being able to decide, like, hey, I am a solo artist. Why don't I try playing on Twitch? Why don't I try performing on Twitch and see what happens? Or why don't I release a covers album? Like, all of the decisions that I make, I feel like I feel very free. I get to do whatever I want, which can have its downside as well, because I don't have anyone to run it by, anyone to say, like, hey, what do you think? Should I release these covers?
You got to trust yourself.
Yes, exactly. I just have to roll with it. And it's kind of fun, and it's much more of an adventure, I feel like, in that way. And I have certainly gotten to the opportunity to expand a lot as a musician, which is so amazing. Like, I feel like being in a band, I love, the thing I miss about being in a band and playing with other musicians is the camaraderie of it. And making music with other people is also really fun. But it also has pushed me to expand myself musically. So I do feel like I don't totally know what the future holds for me, as far as whether I continue to play solo forever or if I, play with some other musicians. But I am really happy that I have gotten to do this, this solo, and it's definitely a goal of mine to release an album that's just solo, because the first album, aside from Stay Dead, which I just released earlier in April.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
On April Fool's Day. I love the release date. You're like, why? Because I can.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So everything before, well, no, I released the covers album too, but everything that was Survival Guide songs was with Jason, my guitar player, who was in Survival Guide originally and who was also in the action design. So now I'm releasing stuff on my own, and it just feels really good. I feel like I'm accomplishing things, and yeah, it's some of the good stuff about being a solo artist.
There's a living ghost that's haunting me. He doesn't even know I can plainly see. I don't judge up the dead, leave them instead, keeping all the stories straight in my head. No, try so hard, but I'll always be free. I'm the statue and you're the rain. Tears coming at my face, but my eyes look the same. And you can make me scream. Oh no. And you can make me scream. Oh no, no, no. Like a wind-up toy stuck on its side. You think you work so hard, but all you really do is lie. You're setting me a trap, guessing I'll snap, crawling on the floor, waiting for my scraps. Yeah, I just watch as the fake blood dries. and you can make me scream. Oh no, and you can make me scream. No, no, never ever. I'm the statue and you're the rain. Tears coming down my face, but my eyes look the same. And you can make me scream. Oh no, and you can make me scream. Oh no, no, no.
So what can people expect from these new releases?
Well, they can expect possibly. I don't totally know yet. I'm just kind of doing what I feel like. And as of now, I think that people can expect things to be maybe even more eclectic. I need to try to make it not too eclectic because I want people to actually enjoy the music. But I definitely am like, oh, why don't I do, I mean, Stay Dead as an example. I created the whole drum track out of horror movie sound effects. And
Oh, wow.
yeah, it was just like something that I felt like doing. And so I did it. And there will probably be more random weird things along the line as more songs are completed.
Get Your Don't is my favorite track on the Way to Go album. In fact, I have been singing it all night and day, and that it's so catchy. Your chorus, I had to learn it. What inspires these oddly catchy songs that are just so uniquely written?
Well, that one was, I think that chorus, because for anyone who hasn't heard it, it just is kind of like taking the words, don't get your hopes up. Don't get your hopes up. I took those 5 words and just sort of threw them in there in just a really nonsensical kind of order. And I think that one in particular, I had the melody first and was just kind of messing around with it, with those words, just jumbling them all, and then decided to keep it. Like nothing.
It worked. It's so good.
Thanks.
So good.
Yeah. After messing with it, it was like, well, why not? I mean, it's weird, but sometimes that's what makes a song good,
Is that well, can you talk a little bit about your process? I mean, you spoke a little bit about it, but I don't know. What's your process?
Yeah. So currently it's a lot different than it used to be. I would write, almost always I would write to the music, which sometimes I contributed to and sometimes I didn't. In Survival Guide, I did contribute a lot. I have contributed a lot, even when we were a 2-piece. Now I am still trying to figure out what's the best way for me to write. So I'm just kind of trying all different ways. I've done some, so with Stay Dead, it started with that drum beat, with that horror movie sound effect drum beat. And so usually what I do, I've kind of been trying to recreate that in a way where sometimes I'll try to write some pieces of music, and then I will piece together some vocals over that. And usually the way I do that is I have a notebook of free writes. Like I'll just have a subject matter, something that strikes me in a certain way. And I will just free write on it. And sometimes as I'm free writing, some rhymes come out, or some themes, or some words that I feel like are, should be highlighted. And so sometimes I will then take that free write and then take that piece of rough music and just kind of see what works together, what kind of overlaps, or whether there's any melody that comes out to me while I'm looking at the words that I've written. But I'm also trying now writing like a poem and seeing if I can create a melody just out of nothing. Because I know a lot of songwriters, they'll sit down with a piano or a guitar and just do the whole song there and build everything else on top of that. So I'm kind of trying that as well. Yeah. It's harder. It's definitely harder.
I love that you're focused on the lyrics. I that's like such an important part of the song. And it seems like anyone can write a song these days with a cool, arpeggiating note, and then just say whatever and it's a hit, know. But I really appreciate that you really focus on the content that you're writing. So keep doing that, please, because people love it.
Thank you. Thank you. Also, I appreciate that you like that, because I kind of feel like a lot of times people don't really, maybe it's because of all those hit songs that just aren't really saying very much.
Exactly. You also released a 2021 covers album.
Yes,
Request
I did.
Hotline Volume 1. How did that come about?
That was a covers album that was completely made out of requests from my patrons on Patreon. And one of the rewards when I first started my Patreon was that I would record a cover song for you. And that reward tier filled up like right away. And I had like 40 covers to record, to learn. And I found, which really surprised me, like a lot of the songs I had never heard before. And I thought that was really interesting that, for example, on Request Hotline Volume 1, which is a collection of some of the first covers that I did, there's songs by Bruce Springsteen that I had never heard, David Bowie that I had never heard. Or at least if I had heard them, it wasn't a single, these are like B-sides from records. So yeah, it's a collection. It's Volume 1. I have more that I would like to clean up and release, but for now, Volume 1 is out, and yeah, they're completely, well, except for Borderline. Borderline is a song that I chose because I just wanted to cover that song. So I put that on the record too. But the rest of them are all requests from patrons.
That's awesome. You also have a Twitch channel. How can people find you on Twitch? What can they expect when they're watching you on Twitch? I watched a little bit, but I don't want to give it away.
Yeah. So I started a Twitch channel with piano. It's basically this setting here. I have my piano set up and I play a distorted bass and sing, and I have a fairly short song list, but I will play requests for people. So I have a list of songs that people can look at, and there's a whole system where they can request a song. And I've got Tsunami Bomb songs on there, and Action Design and Survival Guide. And then I'm gradually learning more of my own songs and more cover songs. I've got a good, I think I have 47 songs maybe on my list.
That's awesome. And then we get to see you in the raw playing on a acoustic piano, and it's really cool. You make sure you all check out her Twitch channel.
It's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Every so often you might see me play a terrible pan flute cover as well.
The bad pan flute jams.
Yes, exactly.
I caught one of those. You did what is the horror song? I'll have to get Rich to cut it into this interview, but you do the like,
Oh yeah. remember on a,
Oh my gosh. Holy moly.
that
How did you
the song
I was
everyone's heard on intense movie soundtracks.
how did you learn to play that on the pan flute? Was it just a board day?
It's just by ear. People will say like, I've done some, I did Hall and Oates. I did, what else? Some Gorillas. I can't remember.
Nice.
It's Eye of the Tiger. Just like people will redeem their points and request a song. And if I know it, then I'll try to play it on the pan flute and see what happens. And it's pretty bad, but fun.
Do you feel like playing the piano has helped you learn other instruments, like especially like things like the pan flute?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it can't hurt. I definitely have been improving as a musician, improving on learning stuff by ear, since like I said, I can't really read music. So when I'm learning a cover or whatever, I'm just sitting down and figuring it out by ear. So yeah, I think it probably does translate to the pan flute a bit.
Well, to that, I think if you're writing it, you don't have to read it. So you're good.
That's true.
You have always had a unique setup, from singing on telephone mics to performing percussion, playing on multiple keyboards, and even using bubble guns that I've seen in some of your recent shows. How do you find and figure out the setups that will accommodate everything that you're going to do at your show?
Everything I've done has been kind of gradually added. So it might seem like it's kind of a lot going on all at once, but really it was like, oh, why not add, here's a song that has, sort of a telephone effect all the way through. Why not just add a telephone mic and try that out? Just stuff like that. And then my bubble gun actually is featured here. I don't know if you can see it in the shot, my little pony back here. That's my current bubble gun that I use a lot during my streams as well.
That's awesome. What's the strangest thing you've incorporated into your show?
Probably the telephone mic, or at least I don't know if it's strange, but it's definitely something that people are always surprised by. Pretty much every time I play a show, people are like, when I'm setting up, people are like, what is going on there? Why is there a phone? Yeah.
Purchase telephone.
Why is that
I know
on
I was. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, like, is it just a prop or what?
Exactly.
And then afterwards, people are like, wow.
It works. It's a real thing. I know. I still never forget it. I was in shock when I saw it and was Googling and trying to figure it out. You are the ultimate touring warrior. In fact, you and I got to play some shows back in my hometown, El Paso, which you have frequented. What has been your favorite thing about touring?
Oh, man, that's a really hard question. I love touring so much. I love seeing so many different places. I also love the travel in between. I love experiencing new things along the way. And of course, meeting new people. And I mean, that's a lot of things. You asked for one thing. But those are all the things.
Expand as much as you need to.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. What is it about an area that attracts you to continue to book tours there often?
I mean, it's nice when there's a good experience all around with a show, as far as the ease of booking it and working with the booker or the promoter or whoever is running the show, as well as the people attending the show. Even if it's not a lot of people attending the show, if they're happy and enjoying themselves and the booking went smoothly and everything, then it's kind of like, okay, this is a place to come back to for sure. So yeah, just, the more positivity, the better.
For sure. Isn't that one of the reasons why you moved to San Antonio? Just the good crowd.
For the vibes.
Yeah, the good vibes.
Yeah, it's definitely yeah, kind of like I was saying earlier, it's just much more calm here than it was in up by San Francisco, where it was kind of not that San Francisco's bad, but it just is a lot more frantic and fast
I
paced.
can see
Whereas
that.
in San Antonio, it's just like, yeah.
If you want the fast pace again, you can just go up to Austin. You're right there.
Exactly.
There you go. You've collaborated with many great artists, including Audio Karate and Mike Herrera of MXPX, who we actually have worked with a few times. What's one of your favorite collaborations you've done?
Well, I mean, I always feel super honored to work with Mike and MXPX because I was a huge fan of theirs when I was in high school. I was like, I mean, I'm sure I've been on his podcast a couple times, and I know I probably said it to him that I mean, when I was in my early pop punk bands, I wanted to be like MXPX. Like I was in a 3-piece pop punk band, and just really loved listening to their music. So that I'm just like, this is so cool.
Oh, I love that. You're still excited about it.
Yeah.
That rocks so hard. That's so cool.
Yeah. And then you mentioned Audio Karate too, which is another, like, I feel super honored in a different way, because Audio Karate definitely, I'm pretty positive, is a band that we in Tsunami Bomb, we toured the most with. We toured all over the US with them. We toured Europe and the UK and Japan with them. So it was just like, I've been in buses. I've lived in buses with them multiple times. And it's almost like they're my brothers in a way, in a weird musical way. So I feel pretty honored that that I had the opportunity and that they asked me to sing on their most recent record. So I'm hoping to do more with them and with MXPX.
Oh, for sure. Me too, because everything that you guys have done all together is awesome. Even the Christmas tunes were fun little jams.
Yeah.
Get everybody said that it was time for me to move ahead. Keep the armor on, it isn't wrong. Protect myself instead. Oh, when they were right, and now I sleep through the night. Na 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 na. I sleep through the night. Don't get your hopes up. Don't hopes up. Get your hopes up. It'll hurt what's on the way down. Don't get your hopes up. Don't hopes up. Get your hopes up. It'll hurt what's on the way down, 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 down.
What are you looking forward to most this year?
For 2022?
Yeah, I know we're kind of in the middle
Oh,
of it,
man.
but we got a lot to work towards.
Yeah, I am planning on, maybe you can hold me to this, finishing writing my album. Finishing writing. It'd be great if I could record it. I'm gonna finish writing it. And I'm really excited about Twitch, about getting to perform all the time whenever I feel like it, because I just really love performing. I really love singing so much. So I started streaming regularly earlier this year. Or no, I started streaming regularly last year, like towards the end of the year. And I'm just gradually getting better at it and becoming a better musician. And it's been super fun. So I don't know. I feel like I've been extra excited just about, I didn't think I would be this excited about Twitch. I guess that's a good way to put it. I was like,
intimidating.
Yeah, it was super intimidating because it was so much to set up. And now that there's still a lot more for me to learn and to improve about my channel. But yeah, I just thought like, oh, I'll try this out and see how it goes. And it's just so much fun. I just like really love doing it. So I'm excited to have that and to continue growing that in conjunction with writing my album.
That's inspiring. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Takes.
I think it's a good time for our ins and outtakes, which is a rapid fire of random questions. Are you cool with that?
Oh, yeah. I didn't know.
So we mentioned earlier, but on TikTok, you perform what you call bad pan flute jams. What other unconventional instruments do you know how to play?
Unconventional.
Or maybe like a random instrument that you bust out and people are like, what?
I have an auto harp. It's currently,
cool.
Yeah, it's super out of tune, but pretty much anyone can play it. But I do have one, so I'm going to be adding that to my stream soon.
Yes. Tsunami Bomb wrote a record that landed in Rolling Stone's top 50 pop punk albums of all time. Yes.
Yeah.
What is another accomplishment that you are most proud of?
Let's see. I'd say Main Stage Warped Tour. There was a moment when playing Main Stage in Los Angeles, I looked out and it was like an ocean of people. And I can still see it so well in my mind. So I hold on to that.
That's so awesome. And I stumbled on some old videos on YouTube of you all performing like those early years. So you get to do karaoke with one of your favorite artists. Who do you choose and what are you singing? I feel like this is an obvious answer.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, I thought I would for sure think it'd be a Green Day.
Oh, well, that would be good. That would be good. I think Green Day, that would be this rapid fire. My first thought was Morrissey.
Oh, that's a good one too.
it would be so unlikely that he would even want to do karaoke. But so maybe that's why it's a good choice.
Ooh, and what are you
song?
singing? Yeah.
What am I singing? Let's see. Well, he wouldn't want to do a Smith song. So maybe we do something super random, like maybe we do a duet. Let's see. It would be maybe we do like something from Greece.
I was gonna say like Barbie Girl or something.
Barbie Girl. That would be so great. Morrissey would have to be, come on, Barbie, let's go party.
I like it. I'm gonna tag him on that.
That works for me.
If you weren't in the music industry, what's another career you would have liked to explore?
If I weren't in the music industry, I would be a baker. I love baking. I love baking desserts mostly, and cookies and sweet treats. So I would do something like that.
I've read about you actually like doing that for your shows, like bringing baked goods and stuff.
Yeah.
A side nice little sweet note about you. That was really nice to hear. So you mentioned Morrissey, and we talked about Mike and a few people you've collaborated with. Who would you like to collaborate with that you haven't? Let's call them out.
Okay, yeah. I would love to do some guest vocals on a Lana Del Rey album.
Oh, that'd be great.
It would be. I would also like to. I would like to do a James Bond theme, and I would also like to be in a David Lynch soundtrack.
Oh, I could totally see that.
I'd be so into that.
Yeah. I love that.
And Danny Elfman. Let's throw that in there.
Oh, perfect.
I would do anything with Danny Elfman as well.
well, yeah, we got to make some of that stuff happen. That's too
okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
If you could tell your younger self something, what would it be? Don't get your hopes up.
Yeah, exactly. I don't have a lot of regrets in life.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I think I would tell myself, what would I tell myself? I already don't get my hopes up all the time. That's already one of my mantras. So yeah, I would say maybe become a person who loves to exercise.
Amen to that. Can I ask for that too?
Yeah, I mean, I should probably try embodying this now, but I wish I would have done it
in my future. I hope that I can exercise more.
Yes.
Oh, that's a great answer. And for my favorite question, who would play you in the movie of your life?
Oh, that's a good question. I've been told that I look like oh no, now of course now I can't remember her name. What was her name? She was in Hilary Swank. I've been told that I look like Hilary Swank.
Yeah.
So that's just my first thought. I've been told her and Reese Witherspoon from when she had brown hair in Walk the Line.
I can picture that. I don't know why, but I see a little Fiona Apple too in you, even though she's not an actress. Oh.
I probably wouldn't pick her because she might not act very well.
Yeah, you're too good of a bubbly person. Very, very different personalities. Well, cool. Anything else you want to share? You mentioned we mentioned your new single. Where can they go check out your new single?
Yeah, so it's available everywhere where you stream music. It's called Stay Dead, and I've got my Twitch channel going under Survival Guide Music, and my Patreon is just under Survival Guide. A lot of my handles you can find Survival Guide without any vowels.
Okay.
And yeah, that's about it.
Your cover album too, that's also available on all streaming platforms.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, so check her out, Patreon, Twitch, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. We'll probably throw it in the description to make that easier.
Perfect.
Before you go, who do you think we should have onto the podcast next?
Oh, well, I mean, off the top of my head, I would say Audio Karate. Probably Jason from Audio Karate or Art. Any of those guys. They're really great. And I think they'd be fun to talk to.
Well, perfect. Well, thank you so much for your time today, Emily. It's been such a blast getting to know more about your musical journey.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Again, I'm Jamie Hernandez, and this is the Ins and Outs with Mackie, a show about awesome gear and awesome people. We'll be bringing you musicians, engineers, podcasters, streamers, and sometimes the occasional Mackoid. If you're new to the show, make sure to hit that subscribe button on your favorite platform to get all the latest Mackie updates as soon as they are out. And be sure to check in the description on how you can win an EM91CU Plus microphone. Until next time, Mackoids.
It's the ins and outs, ins and outs with Mackie. It's the ins and outs.
Some words that should be highlighted.
Mackie. For all new tips, interviews, product news. It's the ins and outs, ins and outs with Mackie. It's the ins